What it do, YouTube? It's your boy TKGoated here, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're about to react to, let me see what it is. Every OP illusion in anime played in 10 minutes, man. So, you already know what my vote is. Hey, if I had to choose an ability, it gotta be Kyoku Suigetsu, you know? But let's see what these other abilities and stuff about, man. Let's go ahead. I'll straight into it.
Kyoka Suigetsu. Kyoka Suigetsu is the name of Aizen Zanpakuto in Bleach. The special ability of its Shikai, or released form,
Bro, I'm telling you, Aizen's ability is like man OP, bro. It's so OP. It's hard for me to explain, but what I'm trying to say is, but Aizen's ability is so OP, bro, that like I think he can counter Almighty. I'm pretty sure because like it's such a good hypnosis that like complete hypnosis is crazy, bro. Being able to like not only hypnotize a person like from their like one sense but all of their senses, bro, so they wouldn't know like at all. They wouldn't have any idea that they're in perfect hypnosis. It's so crazy.
is complete hypnosis, a power that allows Aizen to completely rewrite a person's perception of
This might be
reality.
the most
Once
OP
under its
illusion on this
influence,
list.
Aizen
I'm
gains
not even
total
gonna lie.
control over the target's five senses, meaning what they
Let's turn this up a
see,
little bit.
hear, smell, feel, and even how they interpret those sensations can all be manipulated at will. Because of this, a victim can easily mistake one person for another, allowing Aizen to deceive opponents into attacking their own allies while believing they are striking him. The hypnosis of Kyoka Suigetsu
I'm telling
is
you, bro,
so
this is so
absolute that it
OP,
doesn't
bro.
just create simple illusions, it constructs an entirely false reality for the target. The only
I swear
requirement to
Aizen
fall
lost the
under its
plot.
influence is witnessing
Because with
Aizen's
that type of
Shikai
power,
release
you shouldn't be
even
able to be
once.
defeated
After
at
that
all.
moment, the hypnosis remains permanent. It doesn't fade with time, meaning a person can still be affected even if decades or centuries have passed since they last saw the release. What makes Kyoka Suigetsu especially
You know, I actually never do that. So you're saying that I actually never do this. Actually, it could last indefinitely. So dang, bro, that's too OP.
terrifying is
Nah,
that
that's too
awareness
OP.
offers no protection. Even if someone realizes they are under its hypnosis, they are powerless to resist or break free from its effects. Kyoka Suigetsu is one of the most
That's
pivotal
crazy.
tools in Aizen's arsenal, and it's hard to imagine him advancing his plans without relying on it. Beyond aiding his long-term schemes, the Zanpakuto is incredibly effective in combat, allowing Aizen to create elaborate illusions that distract and deceive his enemies. He can form a decoy of himself to fake his own death, or manipulate others into believing he is within their line of sight, even when he is actually miles away. Despite its overwhelming power,
Bro,
Kyoka Suigetsu,
with a
like all
power like
Zanpakuto,
bro, if I ever had a power like this, I would never lose. All I have to do is just show people my Shikai and it's up, bro. Like what? Did this dude ever use Bankai? I don't remember him ever using Bankai. So OP, he probably doesn't even need to really use his Bankai as much, bro. I
has
don't
its
know, man.
weaknesses. For Aizen to place someone under its hypnosis, the target must first witness his Shikai release. Additionally, while the hypnosis is nearly flawless, highly perceptive Captain-class Soul Reapers can sometimes detect subtle inconsistencies between the illusion and reality upon close inspection. However, its greatest weakness lies in the method of escape. The only way to avoid Kyoka Suigetsu's hypnosis
Oh, is if you're touching it, right? It's a sword. If you're touching the sword, you can like
by
avoid it, right?
touching the
Or if you're
blade
touching him.
itself before the hypnosis is activated. Asura's
Oh yeah,
madness.
yeah.
Asura
But like Aizen is so strong that like you wouldn't really be able to touch his sword for real. Like he's smart enough to not just like let somebody come up to him and touch his sword. Secondly, if you're going into the battle blind, not knowing what his ability is, you're probably already screwed. You already lost. If you don't know what Aizen's ability is, the second you go to fight him, you lost already. Because once he pulls out his Shikai, it's up. And you wouldn't even know. That's the craziest part behind it. You wouldn't even know.
His madness is
Bro.
born from his own paralyzing cowardice. Terrified of the world around him, he tried to protect himself by
Hey, this is
consuming
OP
his own
too.
weapon
This
and
is OP
human
too.
souls, eventually wrapping himself in his own skin in a desperate attempt to feel safe. When Asura is revived, this deeply rooted fear manifests as an infectious madness wavelength that spreads to those around him. It functions like a radio signal. Anyone within range gradually begins to tune in to his frequency of panic. Unlike traditional illusionists who create false images from the outside, Asura's madness works from the inside out. It exploits the cracks in a person's psyche, forcing their deepest fears to surface as undeniable reality. A small doubt about a trusted ally can be twisted into absolute certainty that they are plotting betrayal or murder. Victims frequently see the eyes of the Kishin everywhere, on walls, in the sky, or replacing the eyes of their comrades, creating an overwhelming sense of being constantly watched and judged. At its strongest, Asura's madness produces vivid and horrifying hallucinations, such as the world itself melting away or the ground transforming into a sea of blood. Yet the most dangerous aspect of this illusion is the false sense of peace it offers. The madness whispers that since the world is chaotic and terrifying, the only escape from fear is to abandon thought and emotion altogether, to deny reality itself. Song Fruit. The Song Fruit is a paramecia-type devil fruit used by Uta from One Piece. The primary power of the fruit is the ability to transport the consciousness of anyone who hears Uta sing into a virtual dimension known as the Uta world. When she sings, the minds of her listeners are drawn into this dreamlike realm, while their physical bodies remain behind in the real world, locked in a comatose sleeping state. Within the Uta world, Uta is effectively a god. She can freely manipulate reality, creating food, changing appearances, summoning weapons, or restraining enemies in ways that cannot be broken. While her victims are trapped in the dream, she can also influence their unconscious bodies in the real world, turning her audience into a mindless army that acts on her will. The existence of the Uta world is sustained by Uta's own energy. If she were to die while people are still trapped inside, their consciousness would remain there forever, unable to return to their physical bodies. In that case, they would be condemned to live within the dream world as their real bodies eventually perish. There is also an ancient and demonic musical score known as Tot Musica. When performed by a user of this fruit, it summons a monstrous entity that exists simultaneously in both the Uta world and the real world, often resulting in widespread devastation.
This ability's kind of
Under
OP.
normal circumstances, the only way to escape the—
Hold on, bro. I swear any illusion ability is OP, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and lie, bro. Like, you could have any sort of a illusion ability, no matter what it is, and it will automatically be OP. Because anything that messes with people's senses, automatically like it's almost guaranteed.
The Uta world is for Uta herself to fall asleep, which causes the dream to collapse and releases everyone trapped within it. Death 13. Death 13 is a long-range stand wielded by the genius infant Manish Boy,
I haven't watched
and it
JoJo,
is
so I don't
unique
even know
in that
what
it
this is.
cannot manifest in the physical world at all. Instead, it exists exclusively within the dreams of its victims. If someone falls asleep near Manish
So you have to be asleep, so on some Freddy Krueger type stuff. Okay.
Boy, their consciousness is drawn into Death 13's dream dimension, which is where the stand becomes truly dangerous. The greatest threat of Death 13 lies in what happens after its victims wake up. Anyone who escapes the dream world loses all memory of what occurred inside it. This allowed Manish Boy to repeatedly attack the Joestar group without them ever realizing he was the one behind it.
Hey, hold on. This might be one of the strongest illusions I've ever. Hold on, bro. Why do JoJo people got such OP abilities, bro? Like Golden Requiem, bro. Like, come on, bro. You don't remember what happened, so every time you go to sleep and wake up, like you feel like you about to die. You don't remember, so you can never counter it, bro.
The dream world itself takes the form of a warped, colorful amusement park, hiding its lethality behind a surreal and playful appearance.
There has to be some way to counter
realm,
this.
Death 13 has near total control. It can freely manipulate the environment, transform objects, and instantly heal itself from damage. The stand appears as a cloaked, skeletal figure with a mechanical face, wielding a massive scythe. Injuries inflicted in the dream are not imaginary. Any damage a victim victim takes is reflected directly on their physical body in the real world. Death 13's most
Nah,
unfair advantage is that unless a stand user had their stand actively summoned at the exact moment they fell asleep, they cannot call it forth inside the dream. This leaves most victims completely defenseless, making Death 13 virtually invincible within its domain as the only stand
that's
present.
crazy.
However, this power has a crucial limitation. If someone manages to fall asleep while their stand is already active, they can
Oh, so you have to have your stand active in order to. What if you don't have a stand? You're screwed. But that is an OP ability, but I don't know, like, dang, yeah, okay. I see. So there is a drawback to this. Okay. So there is a drawback to this, but it's still OP because if you don't remember what happened, how would you come to this conclusion? You know, but like I understand, yeah, I
bring it
understand.
into the dream world and fight back. Outside of dreams, Manish Boy is just a baby. If the illusion is broken or he is confronted while awake, Death 13 has no way to protect him in the real world. Watchman
Oh
boots.
yeah,
The
yeah.
Watchman
Okay, so
boots are a
there's a lot
vital
of drawback
instrument
to it.
used by Amo in Gachi Akuta, granting her the
Oh
ability to
yeah, yeah.
manipulate
Isn't it like smell? Anything you can smell, you just automatically. This is OP too. I'm not even gonna lie.
fragrance. Their core function is the
Yeah.
production of potent, invisible scents that, once inhaled, directly affect a person's brain chemistry and emotional state. Through these fragrances, Amo can influence how her targets feel, think, and ultimately perceive reality. Her most devastating technique involves creating a personalized scent. The boots analyze a target's deepest emotional voids or strongest attachments, then emit a fragrance associated with someone the target deeply trusts or loves, such as a mother, mentor, or close friend. This causes intense hallucinations, allowing Amo to appear as that cherished person. The result is a paralyzing psychological conflict. Even when the victim knows she is an enemy, they are emotionally incapable of attacking her. When the concentration of the fragrance becomes strong enough, its effects go beyond emotion and begin to alter perception itself. A battlefield can feel like a
That's
safe,
crazy. I'm not even
familiar
gonna
room
lie.
from the victim's childhood, replacing fear with comfort. In Gachi Akuta, vital instruments are powered by the user's soul, and Amo's fragrance is far more than simple perfume. It is a manifestation of her desperation for affection, weaponized into a terrifying ability that turns longing and emotional vulnerability into tools of control. Infinite
That's actually
Tsukuyomi.
kind of
The
good.
Infinite Tsukuyomi is the ultimate genjutsu in Naruto, designed not to
This
deceive a single person, but to completely
this is the craziest probably illusion I've know of because it controls the whole world, not just like a couple people, a couple hundred, thousands, millions. Everyone's affected, bro.
overwrite
So it's
reality
OP.
for the entire world. Activated when the Rinne Sharingan reflects its light off the moon, the Infinite Tsukuyomi traps every living being under its influence simultaneously, placing them into a dream state from which they cannot
Instantly is
escape on their
crazy.
own. Unlike ordinary genjutsu that manipulate the senses, this technique directly controls the mind on a global scale, suspending people in an eternal illusion where their consciousness is separated from the real world. Once trapped, each individual is placed into a personalized dream, shaped around their deepest desires, regrets, and ideal version of life. In these dreams, people experience happiness, peace, and fulfillment, often things they could never achieve in reality. Because the
Yeah,
illusion feels perfect and emotionally complete, the victims have no reason to resist it. Their minds willingly accept the dream as reality, making the Infinite Tsukuyomi especially dangerous, as it does not rely on fear or pain, but on comfort and satisfaction. While their minds are trapped in this false paradise, their physical bodies are immobilized and wrapped in chakra-absorbing roots from the God Tree. Over time, this process drains their life force, converting humanity into chakra to sustain the tree itself.
that's
If you
crazy. Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
this
an
video,
OP
please
ability,
like
bro.
and subscribe.
I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot how they got out of that. I honestly forgot how they got out of that. Out of these six abilities right here, from Kyoko Sugetsu, Ashura's Madness, Death 13. Yeah, but out of these abilities right here, from Kyoko Sugetsu, Ashura's Madness, Voice Fruit, Watchman Boots, Infinite Tsukiyomi, and Death 13. If I had to choose one, I'd choose Kyoko Sugetsu. Like, you can't be beat unless somebody knows what your ability is and knows what your weakness is. Just because they know what your ability is doesn't know they know how to counter it. Only if they know what your weakness is will they be able to actually be able to fight against it. But at the same time, how would you be able to pull off that weakness, you know? It's the same thing with Assure's Madness. I don't think there's a weakness to it. I don't think he listed like a weakness. I haven't really watched. What was that? Soul Eater? I haven't finished it. So, but I don't think there's a weakness to that, you know? Well, the Watchman boots, I think a weakness to it would be like like outside interference. Same thing with Infinite Tsukiyomi, outside interference. But yeah, if I had to choose one, it would definitely be Kyoka Sugetsu, man, because that's mad OP, bro. It's mad OP. Like, and both like a world with people with powers and a world with people without powers. I would choose Kyoka Sugetsu. Honestly, if you choose Asura's Madness, what is wrong? What is wrong with you? Why would you want that ability? You just want everybody mad? Either that or voice fruit. I'm not even gonna lie. Infinite Tsukiyomi, that could be one too. I'm not even gonna lie. Or Def 13. I would really want to choose Kyoka Sugetsu, man. I would automatically just assume that everybody would choose Kyoka Sugetsu or Infinite Tsukiyomi. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.